Isn't that great?
Yeah, oh, it is. It is so much fun.
And look at you. You didn't gain a pound.
Oh, I did. It's in places that you never would expect it, honestly. But it's also because I've been sleeping. It's helped me kind of get myself back in order. And that was a big thanks to Shari Mezrah.
Yes, it's only fitting that she's here. She is the author of The Baby Sleeps Tonight. Let's welcome Shari Mezrah.
And I know this program works because Shari got me on it, and my baby has been sleeping through the night since 8 weeks. Thank you. I got my sanity back.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. And I bet you're rested and you have a different perspective.
Oh yeah, I'm not certifiably, I can't say it, crazy anymore. I'm sane. But honest to God, your program works, but there's a lot of questions that I think every new mother has when the baby comes home and she doesn't know what to do, starting with crying. How do you get the baby to stop crying?
Well, that's a definite first question that every one of my clients asks, everyone asks. Crying, you have to evaluate the causes of the crying because it could be that the baby is hungry. It could be the baby has gas, and that is really something that causes young children to cry. And maybe they're not totally being burped correctly. So I always say put them real high on the breastbone and be able to give them a nice firm beat, work that burp up, because that will really help.
Yeah, because that little pat, that just doesn't do it for every child.
They really have no concept. They don't know what to do, so they look to you as the parents to help them, to help guide them.
I've heard that they have distinctively different cries for different needs. Is that true?
Yes, definitely. There's a hunger, and you start to learn the rhythm of your own child, but there's sort of a hunger cry, there's a shrieking cry when it's perhaps gas or pain. And sometimes it's teething. So there's all different types of cries, but in order to figure out what's going on with them, you kind of have to figure out what the causes are.
Sometimes I think a lot of mothers, and I have many a time, used a pacifier. Is that okay to use pacifiers, and should you use a pacifier, AKA the plug?
to help them get to sleep?
Right.
Well, I get that all the time. As far as a pacifier, my perspective on them is use them occasionally. If you always use it to put your baby to sleep, then you're always going to need to use it. So if you use other soothing tools like a soft blanket across the face or a rhythmic patting, that will help as well. But you want to get rid of that pacifier as soon as 1 year old. Try to get rid of it because the horror story down the road is what it can do to the mouth.
Oh, okay. Now let's talk about, is it too late to get them on a schedule?
It is never too late.
Never?
Never.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yes, and what's important is to know is the longer you wait to put your child on a schedule, you will sometimes create patterns of conditioning. Those patterns are harder to break the older a child gets.
That's true, right.
But it can happen as far as getting that child on the schedule.
And it can happen right away. I mean, as I said, thanks to your program, and you can adjust it to each individual's needs, you know. But thanks to your program, my baby was able to sleep at 8 weeks old, and which I thought was, I mean, it was heaven. Like the skies opened up, you know. It was the angels were singing when that happened. And I have a friend who got her child who was 3 years old on that schedule then, and it worked out great.
I wonder if I can get my husband on this schedule.
That's the thing, right?
I get that a lot too. But it's about creating the night, because that child has no concept of day or night when they come out, and it's your job as a parent to teach them.
What about using a crib or a bassinet? What do you recommend?
I recommend a crib if you have the luxury of doing that right away, because it allows your child to get familiar with their own environment from the beginning.
And the environment they'll be in for a long time.
Right. However, if you've had a cesarean section or you've had a challenging birth, that bassinet, you know, in the room with you, is a good thing to have. However, as soon as you can make that transition, I would recommend that.
And really quickly, your last question.
My last question is, how do I make work and breastfeeding work out?
It can work.
It can?
Yes.
Just pumping?
You can, yes, but what's important is that you pump at the times that you would regularly feed.
Gotcha.
So that's important.
And then just store it up and give it to your baby
because
later.
you want to keep that milk supply going.
Oh, right.
So you kind of have to strategize a little with your schedule and go from there.
All right.
Shari Mezrah, thank you very much. Stevie's right under there. He's breastfeeding right now.
Congratulations.
The book is called The Baby Sleeps Tonight, and it works.
It really does.
Coming up next, we are making quiche with Southern Living.
It passed with flying colors in the test kitchen, so you know it's going to be great. Stay with us. More Daytime is ahead.